Alright, you guys, so I have this guy, and today was 20 years ago. We met in TJ like several hours ago at midnight. Yeah, like at midnight. So how do you feel?
Man, I feel wonderful. 20 years of wonderfulness. 20 years of wonderfulness.
Yeah. He always said that we were going to be together for 20 years, and I couldn't even think of being with him for 20 minutes, and he kept insisting. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be together for 20 years. Yeah. But every time I asked him like what happens after 20 years, he never said anything. So now in front of the people, what happens after 20 years?
What happened after 20 years?
Yeah, so that tomorrow's 20 years in one day. What happens?
You get 20 more years of wonderfulness.
I guess I'm like renewing my lease or something with him every 20 years. That's how you're making it sound.
Wow,
just
really?
Getting a renewal. So I don't know.
See, there's something like on another side of like the
it just looks
like nothing.
dirt.
Like they just.
It's gonna be a bunch of boxed in houses, and like it's gonna look like everying else pretty soon. But this is how it starts. You see the sky too?
Where am I going?
So this is how. Oh, these are going to be carefree homes.
Apparently carefree something. I don't think I hit the right spot.
But looks like the sky looks a little.
Let's see where he came from, because I was trying to figure out how to. Because I didn't see anything.
The sky looks a little wild though. Anyways,
I think it's that way.
I was trying to like reflect on like the past 20 years between us, and it's kind of crazy. It went by fast, to be honest with you. Yeah. It went by fast. Like a lot of times I didn't acknowledge, well, it's not that I didn't acknowledge, I didn't feel that, like when it hit 10 years, when, you know, it was our 10 years together, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. And I couldn't really see beyond any of those times. It was just like, wow, you know, staying with the same person for that long was not like in me, because I just have commitment issues. So it's just kind of crazy. He's like full on commitment, like he wants to be committed right away. I met him that night, he was like ready to be committed that night, and I was like, it's kind of crazy. So he made it so that we had to interact with each other, and by taking the rings and exchanging them, and everything sounds good when you're drunk. And that's what I was telling Kimana today, like everything sounds good when you're drunk. So when he's exchanging these things, everything sounds good. But in the aftermath of it all, I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna have to meet up with this dude again. I didn't really remember what he looked like. I called my friend to be like, do you remember what he looked like? And she gave me her description of him. And
as a matter of fact, she just texted me. She thought I was you, and she was like on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. She's like, hey.
Yeah, we have a picture from like 2016 when we went to a spoken word, and he left it as his what do you call it, profile picture on Facebook. He's the one that really interacts on Facebook and all that stuff.
And people think it's her.
Yeah,
people hit. Tell them.
Yeah, people hit him up thinking it's me, but even though it says Kevin on there, so I don't know.
Yeah, so the person that kind of connected us has hit us up.
Yeah, I always shout her out every year at this time. I make a post and I always tag her in it and tell her, like, you know, this is all your fault, basically.
Wow.
But oh my god, it kind of looks pretty.
It does, huh?
But it's just crazy because it was a night that wasn't supposed to happen. I went to go meet up with my friend. I hadn't seen her in a while, and she lives in Lemon Grove. I went over there, caught the trolley, whatever, whatnot, and then her and a group of friends met at the house. So they wanted to get into something, and I wasn't really like in the mood to go out. It takes a lot for me to get in the mood sometimes, so I wasn't really in the mood. And then she introduced me to this guy, and his believe it was his friend passed away that night or something. He was in the military, a friend passed away, and he was really, really upset. Now, I just met him like 5 minutes before we were leaving, but I just felt like a deep obligation to him to stay with him, and I felt
make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I felt horrible just leaving him. Like, he's sad and he was gonna be by himself in the house, and I was like, are you sure like we should be leaving him? And she's like, yeah, he's good, and I thought about him a lot that night. Like, you know, before all the tequila got inside of me, I was thinking about him a lot. Like, I hope he's okay, stuff like that. And yeah, so then I don't know at what point he comes up to me or whatever. I just remember I was like looking down and he's looking up at me, and then I think he's like, where are you going? And he comes to me, and then and then yeah, I just started making out with him because by that time I had all the tequila in me.
That's what
full.
it is.
I was full. I was ready.
Full tequila.
Yeah, I had like 8 tequila sunrises, and yeah, it was good. So then he was hooked on me after that. Cause these lips right here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that night those guys from my ship talked. Actually, the next day they were like, "What the hell, dude? You need to be careful with that. Don't be kissing them random girls. You didn't know who that girl was, blah blah." I got the degree from the brothers on the ship.
It is wild to think,
they were like
though.
the brothers on my in the Navy that was on my ship. Hey man, come on. And he's like, dude, I know you was drinking, but you got to be careful.
Did you ever do that before?
No,
I had never done
it before. And they were like, yo, dude, and these are guys that 2 of the dudes I knew from. We basically went through boot camp together. And then he was like, yo, I'm looking out for you. You just gotta be careful with that, man.
Yeah.
And but go figure. They were like, dude, you still wear it? After a couple of years later, they were like, you still wear it? Like, yeah. You have kids now? What?
It's crazy.
But they were like,
crazy.
they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was a drunken night,
They could
and
not
it
believe
was
it.
not like, yeah. So after that, he exchanged rings for us, and I guess we exchanged numbers. I remember telling him distinctly that night, like, hey, when you get home, like, please let me know that you got home.
Yeah.
And so when he got home, he let me know that he got home, and he put, you guys remember the pager codes, he put like 143 at the end that he got home, and I was like, oh God, no. Not already. So we're not that close, we just met. How you 143 in? Like, I was getting nervous.
She was like, oh my God, where did I get this guy from? Who is this person?
Yeah, later on he had told me like that no one had shown concern like that to say like, make sure you got home safe and all that. But every time I part ways with anyone, whether I met you 2 minutes ago or I've known you a lifetime, I'm like, please let me know you got home. And he sees that with my friends. I'm like, let me know you got home, because you know, I want to make sure everybody's safe. So even in my drunken stupor, I remember telling him distinctly, like, you know, make it home safe and like, let me know. So that night I go back, and you know, the dude, I can't remember his name for anything now, but I go back, and the dude, you know, I go to check on him. Now I'm drunk. I'm climbing in bed with some guy after that I had only known about how I've only known 5 minutes more than I've known him.
Wow.
So I went, you know, and I don't know. Well, there's a lot to that story right there. I don't know. Like, it was weird. Anyways, it ends with him like pleasuring himself next to me.
Whoa.
Because I was like, yeah.
TMI.
Yeah, it was a lot, but because I wasn't, you know, I'm not that drunk that I'm like, let's do this drunk. I'm like, I'll make out with you drunk, but not like no extra drunk, you know. And he respected that. He was really cool, but he really wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was like, you know, when you're sad sex, you know what I mean? Like,
when you're sad sex. I've never heard of no shit like that.
Have y'all had, like, when you're sad and you just have those emotions and then you end up, you know what I mean? You want to be intimate. So it was that. But I don't remember how many days later. I feel like it was probably the next day or the day after. He, are we out of the zone?
Yeah.
He hits me up and he's like, hey, let's meet up. And so I meet him downtown. Downtown was like pretty much my whole life. I went to school there and worked there. So I meet him downtown, and I was trying to get my ring back.
Oh, that's right, you were.
So I took my ring back, but I didn't actually give him his ring back. And I ended up just going home on the bus. It was like the last bus. And I go home and I take my ring. So I was kind of like, I'm almost done with him. I just got to get him his ring back, and then we're good. So the next time I'm trying to give it back, he didn't want to give it back, like take his ring back, and he wanted to keep my ring. So then we went back and forth, my ring and his ring and this and that. And my mom was like, whose ring is that and where did you get it? He was out last night and you just came back with this big ring around your neck. And so I tell her the story, and she's like, what the heck, you know, pretty much you're out there hoeing it up and getting jewelry. So
wow, some random dude.
Yeah, it does sound crazy though. If my daughter came home, told me this story, I don't know how I don't think I would think she was hoeing, just because I know my situation and that I've been accused of doing things that I was not doing. So I don't think I would, you know what I mean? And she's definitely nothing like me, so I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah,
for me, you kind of have to worry sometimes, because if I drink, you don't know what's gonna happen. But
wow.
As far as like in my sober mind, like I'm straight. Well, actually, I'm pretty much bad either way, technically. I don't know. I'm always reaching for something. So anyways, that's like how we met, and how he forced us to stay together. We just kept coming around and coming around and coming around. Fine, I think like 4 months later, I let him come to my house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he was like stuck on my mom. But
wow.
He not like that, but he was just like, he really liked my mom, and they baked together like the first time, and he was just really close with her right away. It was very like, I was like, oh my God, he came to visit me, but he's with my mom. But yeah, they were really cool, and they hit it off. And my dad thinks everybody's suspect, so, but he liked him because he took his hat off. So he always mentioned that, and he was like, oh, that one took his hat off, not like them other ones you brought home. And I was like,
oh, like them other ones, huh?
Yeah, but the other ones I brought home, they weren't all boyfriends. I don't really like introducing my family to people, so I didn't bring a lot of people home because I didn't like, but he pressed it, and that's how he got over there. But like on my own, I'm not bringing people home to my family. That's just not me, because that says you're committed. And so now they're asking me questions about him, like, is that your boyfriend? Is that your this and that? And I'm like, I don't know how to describe our relationship. We're kind of like kicking it, and we're just talking kind of. And she's
kind of sort of talking.
So my mom was like, does he even know your birthday? This is at the table, we're like at the counter, and he was like, yes, I know her birthday. And he said it so confidently, and he's like, it's April 15th. You guys, my birthday's in May. There's no 15 on there. It's the 24th. So he was completely wrong. My mom looked at him like, what the heck? How are you gonna get? But we ended up getting married like the day before he said that date. On the 14th of April we got married. So that was kind of crazy, but I'll never forget that because he was so confident. It was just really embarrassing. But anyways, that is the story of us, how we came to be the Sawyers, you know. I don't even know if his family knew. My family knew that I was drunk, and that I, you know, all the stuff in between, I told my family, but I don't know that his family knew. So if they were just finding,
knew that when our daughter came along, you were like, what?
Yeah, because yeah, his mom came out and met somebody completely different. She did not meet me. There was a time like he wanted me to meet her, but I didn't want to meet her. And it was no offense to her, but it's just, that seemed serious to me. So I was like, no. But so he met a different chick that he was talking to. I mean, she met a different chick that he was talking to, and then I end up pregnant like a couple months down the line, and she probably thought it was the other girl at first, huh? But
I don't remember. I don't think she knew. No, I don't think she did.
She didn't know about me.
She didn't know about you, no.
No, she didn't know about me, so I think she thought it was somebody else.
And when I told her to come with, damn.
Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy. But yeah, he was with somebody completely different before me, and that's who his mom met. And I don't know what she thought at first, but she probably, I mean, I know what she thought about me because she said it in so many words. But, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy story. Where did you come from? And if she heard all this stuff in between, then she'd be like, what the heck? And if I talked about his cargo pants, you know,
I'll show you. Oh, his cargo pants.
Yeah.
His cargo pants.
Yeah, she would be like, oh my gosh, my daughter-in-law's a hell. Anyway.
Wow. Damn, you know, we ended up in Horizon City.
We're going to Horizon?
I think that, yeah, we're like in Horizon City now.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to move to Horizon City, you guys, but they said it wasn't
like right
built up, and now looking at it, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Are we
we're
in
Horizon City.
It's newly, like, it's, yeah, like, this is how it is. Oh, it's starting to rain.
Alright, take her off.
Yeah, this is Horizon City. Ooh, ooh, probably smells. No, I'm just kidding. I don't see the animals. Anyways, my battery is going to die, so I love you guys so much. He loves you guys so much, and it was nice chatting with you and letting you know our 20-year update.
Yeah.
And how we met and how crazy it sounded. But I'm sure my friend met her husband in TJ. I don't think she did all that I did, and she didn't, you know what I'm saying, go through all we went through, but you know what I mean, there's nothing. Oh no.
What?
Look, should we get him?
No, he look, he could be somebody's over here.
He looks sad. He might need a ride.
I didn't realize Horizon City basically was in our backyard.
No, we've been driving for like 20 minutes.
That's true. Oh yeah, we were. We took a
so that is the story of us. Tell me, you guys, how you guys met your spouses. Before the camera cuts off, I love you guys. Let me know how you met your significant others.
It'd be nice to know. Yeah,
because I think it's cool to hear those stories, and they don't have to be crazy. I just like knowing how people met each other, and I think it's just really cool. So comment down below how you guys met each other. We love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.